Don't you dare to cross us!
I'll turn you into corpse starch.
Well, I do remember how painful it was to try and do this last time. Toxic Spurt, red in the screen, Devourer. It eats things and it gets health back. It just wants to hug you. Lightning!
I'll make it happen.
Not a Nurgle Demon. I think it's just a regular Chaos Spawn. Nothing too special.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
No, it dodged. How dare you?
Doubt is for the weak.
Oh!
Just a minor setback. Victory is imminent.
Sliced. It's got a lot of health.
On it.
Lightning! Uh-oh. Yep, what powers? Expose.
That is not my destiny.
Oh, it's already under thing. Let's get some insights on it then. Forewarning, that should help you out. Great job, crew officer. Great job, overseer. Well done. Alright. I'm going to give you, bring it down.
I refuse.
Oh, I'm not in close. Okay, I'm going to have to move myself into danger. What was it, 3s? 4. I should be safe here. Well, I say safe.
On it.
Attack again!
I will do my duty.
No, it dodged it. Well,
Indeed.
it was nice knowing me. It's missed. And it just devoured a body to get more health back. Ow.
I'll do it.
Shoot!
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Left running gun actually works if you move and shoot again, I think. It can. Yeah. Nice. Leave Abelard alone. So much health. Endure. Expose weakness. Scream at it.
We'll do it.
And then, forewarning,
But of course.
help you out. Dodge and parry. Great job, crew officer. my turn to... Oh, I can do another.
I'll see to it personally.
Attack again! Keep attacking! Took 13 health down. Still endured, I think. Brace for impact.
At your back and forth.
And then I can shoot.
It's as good as gold.
Nice. Voice of
My
command.
gut tells me it's a
Alright.
bad idea.
Nice. Doing some damage. Shoot it! So
I am here.
let's do the firearm mastery. No, I missed. I get to keep shooting for a bit.
Emperor. As the Emperor commands, I
No, stop missing.
doubt is for the
No, stop it. Okay, that's really bad. I could have almost killed it. Nice, good damage. Enjoy.
I will do my duty.
Survive. Right. I could do the dismantling attack in combat. That's not really that good, is it? Expose the weakness. And then analyze enemies. And then scream at it.
anything else?
Scream! Whoa, I did 20 damage. Can I finish it off? Probably not. Let's get the Eisenhorn to do it. Eisenlorn, yeah, Abelard, sorry. Get it! Yes! Well, that went better than the beta. Right. Loot. Blade shard. Gloves of endurance. Mantle of heroism. And then we've all leveled up again. Characteristic. Fellowship willpower. Toughness. If I'm going to be a leader, then fellowship probably is a good idea, isn't it? And then a common talent. I need level 10, don't I, really? We'll get to level 10 eventually, but not now. Not today. Character training, base skill, Medicae. Persuasion, tips. Grenadier. Ready to serve. When an Imperial will character is affected by an ally's non-damaging ability, or affects an ally with such an ability, their resolve is increased. Best die for the Emperor. Doing my part. That'll be good if I don't have a deer in my party then, because if no other current character has the same archetype, or his archetype officer. Oh, that's different, isn't it? So as long as there's no more officers, which I don't think there is, then everything costs one AP less. Let's do that then. I think that sounds good to me. Because yeah, officer, warrior, operative, soldier. Obviously, you can, like, yeah, search through different talents. Whenever an enemy attacks a warrior, deals additional total damage and rage. Isolation. No allies in adjacent cells. Charge and push increase the damage of ranged attacks made by. So, okay. Soldier's first grenade does not spend AP. But I don't have any grenades. Not yet, anyway. I'm not favoured anything yet. Epicenter of slaughter. I'll probably, yeah, I'll agree with that. Characteristic. If I want to be chonky. Each bonus point for Justice character plus 10% wounds. Oh, I can just increase my weapon skill. I'll do my weapon skill. Dira, operative. Perception. And then common talent. While the Psyker is not in the target's line of sight, or the Psyker is in cover, all resistant tests to the target suffer a penalty. Psyker can use damaging Psyker power while being threatened by enemies in melee range without provoking attacks opportunity. That sounds like a good idea in case we get overwhelmed. Then Argenta. Illicit skill, I think, is just a good thing to have. Really? After the soldier damage 3 different enemies, soldier gains plus 10 plus 2 times ballistic skill bonus. More damage for the next attack in the current combat. Fired up. Exploit surroundings. That's probably good for being in cover. Although rapid reload is probably good too. Probably. Right. That's all that leveled up nicely. I believe we're going to talk to the Master Helmsman to get us all back into real space, because this isn't good. By the Emperor, it's the Seneschal living and breathing. Well, there's a tricky question. The whole place is so overgrown with foul wickery, we'll be scrubbing it off the vid screens for throne knows how long. We need to re-establish contact with the Navigator's sanctum. It's our only chance of escaping from the warp. The words seem to knock the officers out of the stupor, and the air around you fills with voices and commands being issued. You hear someone sobbing. One of the survivors buckling under the stress. Abelard cuffs the crying officer without even looking. Restore the Vox channel to the Navigator's sanctum. Ready the crew. Prepare for translation to real space. Eisenlorn, you may call me superstitious, but translation is not a good time to discard rules. You're only one who speaks for the House von Valencius. You may not be the Lord Captain, but you, more than anyone else, deserve to take her place in the ritual that's about to commence. I am ready. Begin the ritual. My throne awaits. Okay, oh wait, I'm going to say I'm not sitting down yet. Abelard's coming. The image before you is hazy, swaying in sorcerous currents invisible to mortal eyes, as if whatever is beneath the thin shell is constantly changing while still remaining the same. It's taken on the guise of Theodora, but the Pulse Road Trader's eyes reveal the entity's true surreal nature. One of Theodora's eyes is engulfed into the world of fire, the other, a vessel of ancient evil, bores into you. The voice seeps directly into your brain without ever reaching your ears, and his voice booms with all the horrors of the warp. Who are you to oppose destiny itself for the sake of lives that are not your own? So many threads stretch between you and other creatures of your world, pitiful, worthless links ready to shatter at the slightest touch, a muddled, erratic, pointless tangle. It resonates and merges with the voices that have already dug their foul roots into your consciousness. A moment later you realise that all these voices are the myriad manifestations of the same call that has been finally invaded your mind. Begone, phantom! Your head begins to spin and vicious drops slither down your cheeks. You blink and you're no longer looking at Theodora. It is the traitor Voigtbeer. Just as fluid and ephemeral as the previous operation, the same terrifying voice seized from its lips. The aspirant vowed to return with a trophy, a relic that could serve the edge of daybreak. That fate was assured and the steps chosen, and yet you broke the unbreakable when you took the aspirant's place. I see you. On a day when the final dawn rises over the Iron World, I see you by my side on that day, the day of my resurrection. The image scattered by invisible sorcerous winds, and you see Adira, her eyes aglow with the same sinister flame. Your image is woven into the tapestry of things to come. I am the will of the weaver of destinies, and today I will weave a new thread of elusive possibilities and fickle chances. The thread that will lead you to out of the maw of irreversibility. The thread that will help you find the keys to salvation. The thread that will guide you and the weapon of our return to. A cavalcade of hazy glimpses of a future yet unknown passes before your eyes, a flash of crimson, purple. The images replace one another in a violent kaleidoscope without ever letting you get a proper look at them. Through the rippling mirage, you see a twisted image of Abelard, the loyal seneschal dynasty. The path is set, child of the dawn. The thread is woven. Follow it, servant of mine. I will not be your puppet. Bravo turns up and looks at you, hesitates for a moment, so over to Abelard, who's standing next to you. Seneschal, the Navigator Sanctum is silent, the Vox signal is stable, which means Navigator gave his life battling the storm that nearly claimed the Von Valencia's flagship. We will honour his memory along with all who died this day. So shall we tell us now, who is that? Where's the Lord Captain?
As First Officer, it is my duty to inform you with the greatest regret and indelible sorrow that Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius is dead. May her memory never fade from the annals of the dynasty.
Yep.
By right of blood succession, and with the absence of other kin who could challenge this decision, it is hereby declared that the successor to Theodora von Valancius is her heir, the rightful inheritor of the warrant of trade, and the title of Rogue Trader. The official ascension ceremony will be held at a later time. In the interim, have you lost your tongues? Hail your lord. It is because of his toils that we all still live. The deed is done, Master. My apologies. I meant to say Lord Captain.
We're done. We are now Rogue Trader. Eisenlorn von Valancius.
The treachery of the Master of Whispers was fruitless, but victory came at a great cost. Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius perished along with her heir Edelthrad, and thousands of crew members. Yet hope remained, for the second in line to the Rogue Trader dynasty survived, and through the strength of his resolve, saved those who were counting on him for protection.
Nice. Well, that was the prologue, I guess. What, about 2 hours and a half-ish? Not bad. My throne spins. Deep shadows of weariness can be seen in Avalard's face through the old officer's eyes are keen. They rake you over from head to toe. He frowns, but something nods to himself. Well then, your lordship. You cannot help but notice that the Seneschal does not know how to talk to you or where to begin. His hesitation brings an involuntary smirk to your face, as though someone else is entirely gloating at the old officer's confusion. Seeing your smile, Abelard pulls himself together. You must now hold your first officer's briefing in your new role as Lord Captain. For many of those who are about to join us on the bridge, this will also be their first briefing. We sustained massive losses among the senior and middle ranking officers. Some posts have had to be filled by the deputy's deputy, while others go unfilled entirely, and now the deck clans are deciding who will take over the leader's crews. How did we come to lose so many officers? It appears the heretics were deliberately targeting the vessel's command. They knew exactly whom they were looking for and where they could be found, which is unsurprising given the informant on board was our own Master of Whispers. What is the agenda for today's meeting? Reports on the condition of the ship and crew. The Lord Captain is not usually drawn away from her important affairs to attend such routine briefings, but this is a unique situation. I am still receiving updates from across the ship, and they are not encouraging. Getting this bird to fly could take a gargantuan effort, even so far as you personally negotiating with the authorities of the system we are currently in. So prepare to hear a bevy of complaints and excuses, your lordship. Take this opportunity to get a good look at the officers who work 6 decks away from the bridge, and they in turn will have the honour of beholding the visage of their Lord Captain. Have you succeeded in tracking down Voigtveer? No, Lord Captain. In all the commotion, his trail went cold. Our people are still on the hunt for him, and any mutineers who may still be skulking in the ship's many corridors. But frankly, I would not be surprised to hear that we are now one shuttle short. I'm afraid that it will take some time before he answers for all he was wrought. But yeah, Abelard, there's an altogether more pressing problem. I do not wish to be the rogue trader. Oh, I think I do. I'm ready to start the briefing. Summon the officers. Yeah, sure. A dozen pairs of eyes bore into you, the expressions revealing restraint, joy, curiosity, and weariness. Attention, officers, you've been granted an honour. Lord Captain Eisenlorn von Valentius will personally conduct today's briefing. Our most gracious Lord Captain is ready to hear your reports. I haven't had time of listening every last officer in the hulking brig, Abelard, giving a precise... What major problems? Oh, precise, yeah. Perhaps we'd introduce those present, as you wish. Vigdis Suri Orator of the Ptolemy line, a new Vox Master. It is honoured to serve your lordship. Aboard this vessel you have at your command thousands of crew members and hundreds of officers and section chiefs. I am responsible for receiving, processing and sending all communications between you and them, as well as external sources. I am your eyes and mouth, Lord Captain. Beside her is Revor, Master Helmsman. He steers our ship along the course set by the Lord Captain and monitors the void around us to ensure that we do not stray into the asteroid field or into a pirate trap. Hail, Lord Captain, he is here, ship's as good as home to me, so rest assured she's safe hands. I'll die before I'll let her come to any grief. And lastly, our High Factorum Janice Stanrock, who oversees supplies, procurement, and the general material well-being of the ship. It is an honour, your lordship. You may trust me with all matters concerning your comfort. Everything will be done to the highest standard. In the second row, we have the 3 officers charged with overseeing the ship's vital functions. The Master of Ordnance, responsible for the artillery on board. The Infernus Master, whose crew work to prevent and extinguish fire on the ship. And lastly, the Drives Master, servant of the Messiah. 3 officers salute you. The Infernus Master does so with confidence, while the Master of Ordnance betrays nervousness. The Drive Master offers a salute with resembling a dance, involving complicated manipulation of all the tip pre-smith dendrites. Is that everyone? Unfortunately, our choir master, the extreme Zachary Weiss, head of the Astral section, is unable to join us. He's in charge of communications with distant star systems. Master Weiss has been in trance for some time now, attempting to contact other planets in the Von Valentius Protectorate, inform them of Lady Theodora's passing and Conrad Voigtveer's treachery. I will deliver a report to your lordship on the Astral's progress as soon as possible to do so. All other present are adjutants, secretaries and deputies. They are here to make a report of proceedings. I wish to hear the Infernus Master's report. Yes, Lord Captain. I can report that all fires across all decks have now been extinguished. The preliminary damage assessment in terms of material losses and crew casualties has been completed. The results have been submitted to the Seneschal and the High Factorum. The post passed to him after the previous Infernus Master and his next 3 deputies expired in the line of duty. The lad is managing well so far. I can take the heat, so to speak. High Factorum, what do you have to report? We are toiling day and night to compile a full account of the losses. The task will require next to no involvement from your lordship. I will personally ensure all damaged components are given into the tech priest's hands for attention, and that all lost supplies are replaced. There is only one resource that I cannot replenish single-handedly, and that is people. We have lost more than 2,000 crew members, and unfortunately this number is not confined to the scum of the lower decks, which are easily replaced, but also includes trained professionals. We will be able to make up our losses on the nearest planet, Ricard Minoris. However, the planet, the whole system in fact, belongs to the winter-scale rogue trader dynasty. We cannot simply begin recruiting on the planet without coming to understanding with the governor. In that respect, I am powerless. Negotiations are themselves a matter for the rogue trader. Especially true given Caligula's winter-scale's penchant for attacking first and asking questions later, that is. And the kind of thick-skulled thugs he usually installs as governors on his planets. Drives Master will hear from you now. Lord Captain, the foes that set upon this noble void ship destroyed the repositories of hundreds of machine spirits. The great warp engine is trusted into my charges unharmed, thank you, Messiah, but its spirit mourns its dead brethren. I have not yet identified a prayer protocol capable of assuaging its sorrow and anger. Great sorrows protect the Engine Seer Prime, Overseer and spiritual authority of all the tech priests on board fell in battle. The Bagos was betrayed by the little flesh that remained part of him, the most terrible loss. There is no one among my comrades aboard whose experience and comprehension of the sacred protocols equals that of the fallen Magos. Require replacement as soon as possible. I see. Thank you. Master Helmsman, deliver your stats report. Right you are, Lord Captain. To cut a long story short, the outlook is bleak. The ship's sound, more or less, but without our Engine Seer Prime and Navigator who fell in battle, we have no way out of the system. If we try to set as much as a toe inside the warp, I don't know what will happen next. I won't try being torn to pieces, or all of us melting into the bulkheads. Your Lordship, if you allow me to interject, when we arrived in the system, my crew followed standard protocols and conducted a count of all the available communication channels in the region. One of them was the Navis Nobile station. The station maintains complete box silence, but even its presence here inspires hope. To have located a navigator in the same system, an incredible stroke of luck, a true blessing from the God Emperor. A sharp bolt of pain lands through your skull as a response to what you've just heard. You understand that it's not the God Emperor you should thank for such good fortune. The words of the demon that appeared before you during translation echo in your mind. I am the will of the Weaver of Destinies, and today I will weave the thread of the least possibilities and fickle chances, the thread that will lead you out of the more of irreversibility, the thread that will find you the keys to salvation. Ooh. If I were you, I'd grab this chance with both hands, or else you'll soon be eyeing up asteroids to use as your new residence. In slightly less shitty news, we can go round and round this system until our heads are swimming, as long as the Promethean supplies last. And if any thick as grot shit lowlifes come sniffing around, we'll be able to take them out, so you don't worry on that score. Master of Ordnance, do you have any report? No, my job's simple. We maintain the arsenal of fire where I'm told, but just ask anyone, we've not got no able crew, Lord Captain. Master of Ordnance, you forget yourself. So what? Comes the officer's hostile and bitter reply. It's as if a dam has burst inside, all his pent-up emotions rushing out of him. The ship's in ruins, every second officer's dead, and we've got a green Lord Captain who's supposed to lead us to void knows where. Silence! Enforce us to seize this mutineer. Oh, punched. If only one officer out, the whole lot has fallen to pieces. That's not bad at all, your lordship. I do humbly apologise on behalf of the entire crew. What would you have us do with the Master of Ordnance, the former Master of Ordnance, I should say, besides find a replacement, if there's already one lined up? Stand down, release him with no intention of punishing a man for a moment of weakness, not over the terrible attack we have endured. Execute him. Cease your snivelling. You'll disgrace yourself and the entire clan. Enough, the hysterics are over, let us resume. Master of Ordnance stands up, wiping the blood from his broken nose, his face the picture of shock. What's happened seems to be dawning on him only now, not to the fate he so narrowly escaped. To summarise, we have sustained serious losses in crew members and require a new Engine Seer Prime and Navigator. Is this all that is preventing us from continuing the voyage? Precisely, Lord Captain. Bear in mind that this will not be the end of our trials. The ship's systems must be properly inspected for major damage, which can only be carried out at Footfall Station, home to the only dockyard in the sector. But we will never reach Footfall without first solving these three immediate problems. What can you tell me about the system we currently find ourselves? I see the Vox Master on this point, Mistress Tolliman. We are in the Ricard star system. Our voyage here was undertaken on the orders of your lordship's predecessor. There are 3 inhabited bodies in the system, and our attempts to send Vox messages have produced confounding results. The Navis Nobili station has not simply failed to answer, it seems to be maintaining total Vox silence. However, we did receive a signal from the prison planetoid in the system, and Ricard Minoris itself is also not responding to our hails. What's most alarming is that augurs have intercepted signals from the surface that seem to indicate ongoing hostilities on the planet. The situation is not very encouraging, but without a navigator, tech priest and few crew members, we won't be able to travel anywhere. Therefore, we must go to the planet and the Navis Nobili station to find out what in the void is going on. Thank you all for your reports. Dismissed. Your Lordship, there's one other thing, a confidential matter of the most important. Lady Theodora, your eternally esteemed predecessor, brought the ship here to the system for a reason. She was giving a secret commission. You perhaps are wondering who has authority to commission a rogue trader to anything. I shall tell you. The Lord Inquisitor, the hand of the Emperor, chief architect of his will in the Coronis Expanse. I came across a strange handwritten letter on Theodora's desk. It was signed XC. You're referring to the contents of that note, I presume? You're quite right, XC, Xavier Calcazar. Lord Inquisitor Xavier Calcazar, a powerful and mysterious figure, and blah 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 blah. Still. Lady Theodora will seek out the Lord Inquisitor's right-hand man, one Heinrichs von Kalox, an interrogator, you understand? All I know is that he is somewhere in the system, and we must find him and offer him whatever assistance he requires, and then deliver him to footfall in the Furibunda's system. Finding him without any more information to go on will be difficult indeed, but the Inquisitor is an important individual. The authorities in the system, even the business nobility or the governor of Ricard Minoris, may know something. That is all of it, your lordship. You have a great deal of work ahead of you, but it's a mere taste of the daily burden of a rogue trader. Soon you must take up the reins of Von Valencia's protectorate. Theodora, Sister Argenta, explain yourselves. The Psyche is suffering some ailment or dark madness. She's insisting the rogue trader. I judged that it would be unwise to leave her unsupervised. I was also hoping to approach you with a personal request, but you can wait. Speak with me when you have the time, rogue trader. Daybreak. Adira, come to your senses. Damn it. Your lordship, here's the thing. I was trying to see the immediate future and it hit me so hard, my head's still spinning. Something very strange is heading our way and I can't make out what it is, no matter how hard I try. A single word is all I can make out. Daybreak. Or maybe it's dawn. And it's ringing like an echo, like a bell, but if it is daybreak, why is it so dark? We cannot extract an individual vowel from a single word. Can you tell us anything else, Mistress Lass? No, not yet anyway. The voices are going berserk, all shouting at once. I can't make any sense of it. As soon as I know it or sense anything, I'll report it, alright? Lord Captain, if you want me to get closer in the future, find me on the bridge and we can talk. Lady Theodora was also served in my whispers on many occasions. I will show you a benefit from them as well. If there's nothing else of value, let's prepare it concluded. Right, the game was auto-saved. Right then. We know that wasn't there a mini-map, or am I mistaken? Oh, it's cold. It's very cold, Iceni. I have just a regular old map. So Argenta's down there. Yes.
Rogue trader.
You said you had a personal request for me.
I indeed have a request, rogue trader.
The accursed servants of chaos who assaulted the ship took the lives of your loyal crew members. They orphaned many children, including the progeny of the brave officers who defend their post until the bitter end. I don't know what customary practices there are for cases like this in the Von Valencia's territory, but in the world I'm familiar with, the children of such brave souls could expect to receive some special consideration. Perhaps the rogue trader could meet with the orphans. I see he's redeemed 5 squats. Oh dear. I just sat down. Again. Fine. let's get stuck on the chair now. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Get me improvised granny blanket back around. Cool. Make arrangements for a meeting worthy of a rogue trader. I will meet with them. I'll address the orphans for the speech. Come here, orphans. I am the Grand Rogue Trader. A group of adolescents, clearly dressed in their finest, freshly pressed clothes, forms a straight line before you, some sit with wide eyes like some mythical creatures, while others huddle together in fear and look away. Our indefatigable sister has been keeping an eye on these pups. It's hardly the scholar pregium in here, but we have provided the orphans on our ship with adequate care and instruction. Brave ones, the master of this ship has appeared before you. The one who guides it through the darkness of the universe by the Emperor's will. Greet your Lord Captain, the Rogue Trader of House von Valentius. Grandly address the group. I, the Rogue Trader and Lord Captain of this ship, speak to you now. Your parents gave their lives for a just cause and brought honour to the von Valentius banners and those of the Imperium. I am proud of them, and I believe you will become their worthy heirs. Your teenagers hang on every word with bated breath. Only a few at the far end of the row seem sullen and not particularly impressed. One of the scowling visitors with a thin scar across his face tosses his head back and says bitterly, "So what? Why should we care? Our friends and parents died in their dozens for you noble lot. You just give us speeches." Argently quickly turns to the boy. A flurry of emotions flash to her dark eyes like she wants to both calm him and scold him for his impudence. If you have things to say them without fear. I will listen. Doesn't matter what we say, it won't bring our parents back and it won't change our fates either. We'll keep slaving away on the ship until we drop and die like our folks are worth. Strong have the power to decide the fate of the others. The weak either obey and die. You seek different lot in life, save the grumbling and look opportunity to rise above the rest. I understand your grief and your dismay. Your parents died. It's not an easy thing to go through, but they gave their lives for the truth, for the good of the whole ship, for the Imperium. Do not speak of their honourable fate with anger and disdain. You heard the Rogue Trader. His words carry the wisdom of the Imperium. It's hard to say whether or not your words have left an impression on the boy, but he nods slowly, then catches himself and gives you an awkward bow. Abelard gives a sign, and servants immediately engage, carry packed treats with the von Valentian and bands of the rappers. It appears the Seneschals came prepared for any contingency. Treats. I won't be too upset with a kid for being angry after his parents died. The Imperium's not exactly a very nice place. Okay. Bribery. Yeah, you will love me. Here's some treats. I mean, they don't have to love me, they just have to obey. Really. So we've dealt with the orphans. Then probably talk to Adira, I think. On the bridge, and then we'll obviously head down to the planets, I think, as well. So, yes. Argenta, Abelard, Adira. Let's go to Adira. Adira, down here. But they could love to obey me. Probably. Are we going to go all... Galadriel, all shall love me in despair. The tall middle-aged woman stares straight ahead, her eyes vacant as she rubs this implant on her temple. Her collar is undone, and one of the clasps is on the verge of falling off. Sensing your presence, Nadira turns her head towards you and offers you a crooked smile, even as her eyes look right through you. Things are strained between you and Gento, isn't that right?
The little sister is afflicted with her own set of voices. Ones that whisper to her about corruption and heresy. The silly girl doesn't realize that if she wants to find the source, she needs to start by looking in her own head.
Do you know Theodora well?
None of the officers knew the Lord Captain well. Not even Abelard, and she was always closer to him than anyone else. She told me from the off that if I ever listened to anything in the warp about her without her permission, I'd be going out through the airlock. I'm not an idiot, so I never stuck my nose where it didn't belong. Only when I was asked. It's hard to wrap my head around the fact that she's gone. Lady von Valancius gave me everything I have. She opened the stars to me and the paths between them. I still think I can hear her voice.
I'd like to hear your augury.
All right, let's hear what they're whispering about you.
Dira laughs, rubs her hands together and suddenly freezes with a vacant smile on her face, her head slightly tilted. You feel goosebumps appear on your skin, and your collar begins to waver ever so slightly as if moved by a breeze from a half-open door.
Seek not on firm ground, but in a golden hall suspended in the void. There waits a child without kin, but with a name blind to truth. She draws the brush across the canvas and does not notice that her palette is full not of paint, but of blood. And with each smear, this well does not deplete, but fills and fills up to the brim. One thing is clear. When this vessel overflows, none will remain unstained. Among the blind men and false prophets, a red-robed sage seeks the answer to a question. He does not know that it is not the answer he must seek, but the question that will draw everything into focus. Will you help him, rogue trader? But mark that sometimes ignorance is sweeter than oblivion.
Oh, one thing I just noticed actually. Is these candles, they're lightly animated. That's nice. Anyway.
A chained hound chases after glimmers of the aurora, but sparks in the scent of oil confound his nose. The chain trails after him. What will happen if you pick it up? Will you become his master, or merely another beast in the path of his true lord? The glow of dawn bursts forth from its prison. Dungeon walls cannot contain the dark essence wallowing in the dust. A naive cub pushes his nose into a familiar hand, one that holds death in twisted glass. Cherish it or cast it off as a burden. The sword of change has already been raised. What is one more life to it?
Right. Just Amazon. Of course I wasn't told to expect a delivery today. It wasn't for me.
I'm sorry, Lord Captain. The voices are going wild. I can't make out a thing. I'll try to rein them in, somehow. But for now...
Right, that's it then. I'll take my leave.
Of course. All...
Technomats. Do I speak to... Abelard? Where is he? He's here somewhere, obviously. Oh, that's my cat. I was like, oh, you can't see him. He is there.
Lord Captain,
Let's talk about things that may be useful to me as the rogue trader.
a noble aspiration, Lord Captain. I am ready to acquaint you with all the particulars that interest you.
Conrad, what can you tell me about his betrayal?
You know, Lord Captain, I am no admirer of fine art. But when we next find ourselves in a civilized port, with time to spare, I will promptly find an artist and commission a portrait of the individual to whom you refer, with a hole between the eyes. Conrad Voigtveer. That he committed his treachery and escaped with his life was an unforgivable oversight. We both served Lord Captain Theodora for many years, and we never saw eye to eye. He was brash. He was never afraid of assuming responsibility, and he willingly took on difficult tasks. I am loath to admit it, but the Von Valancius Protectorate continues to reap the fruits of his labors to this day. His service always garnered my respect. But everything else about him made me want to wring the neck of that two-faced snake. If you are taking comfort in the thought that we will hear no more of Conrad, prepare to be disappointed. You thwarted his plans, his meticulously plotted and nurtured treachery. He is sure to attempt to strike at you, and he will use his contacts and knowledge of the Protectorate to do so. The only question, Lord Captain, is whether you will be able to anticipate his next steps.
Isn't that your job?
In the first instance, you should treat official representatives of the Imperium with respect. The Expanse may be on the fringes, but it still numbers among the territories of the Golden Throne. The arrival of the Lord Inquisitor has turned the Coronis Expanse into a less wild and uncontrolled region, to the regret of some individuals who had grown inured to the local lawlessness. Rogue traders such as yourself are also servants of the Imperium. They have been accorded special rights and powers. They wield immense authority within their territory, and they enjoy absolute respect in other parts of the Expanse.
Like in the mic.
The most powerful of them are Caligos
Silly kitty.
Winterscale and Incendia Bastal Chora. Tread carefully when dealing with either of them. If we are to speak of unclaimed territory, which is what Footfall is, among the scum that dwells on that handful of asteroids, there are 3 factions that wield considerable influence in the sector. The first is the Kazbala Commission, organized crime in its most primitive form. It holds sway over the Liege of Footfall, and has links to rogue trader Winterscale. The second faction is an offshoot of our shining ecclesiarchy, followers of St. Drusus. They are actively building their forces, and hold influence over rogue trader Chorda. And finally, the third faction, the Explorators, a wing of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are willing to die and kill for the secrets of the ancient technological heresies that are hidden among the stars of the Coronis Expanse.
Outline the situation.
This is a topic for an official briefing, not a casual conversation. But I will try to answer succinctly, and if you permit, in my own words. The Coronis Expanse is considerably removed from the heart of the Imperium. This means that local warp routes become useless within months. Established pathways are regularly subject to attacks from all kinds of rabble. And in the only major port, the Imperium's frigates find themselves moored alongside pirate vessels. Until recently, the Coronis Expanse could hardly have been called a region of the Imperium. The situation has changed with the arrival of the Lord Inquisitor, but not by much. This place operates under its own rules, you see. More radical, so to speak. But ones that allow for a non-standard approach where there is a promise of victory. The Coronis Expanse is considered rogue trader territory for a reason. Only rogue traders have sufficient military might, audacity, and the rights granted them by the warrant to survive the leap into the unexplored part of the Expanse. And in the event of a successful outcome, to hold on to whatever they manage to capture on the frontier.
That is all for now.
As you wish, Lord Captain.
We'll take that leave.
Lord Captain.
To the map. We're going to be able to play one-handed because this kitten really wants to be pet. Scan required. Also, we're at Ricard and Norris. Oh, well, we're not at Ricard and Norris, but actually, yes. Let's go to the Navis Nobility. Contact the station again. I want to negotiate personally. I'm sorry, Lord Captain, the station will require, even after official greeted by a rogue trader, the declaration of your intent to negotiate in person. Order the Augur crew to scan the station. Yes, Lord Captain. The officers from the Augur crew performs full scan of the station, but the information is imprecise. The note waves sources of unclear genesis that are throwing off most of the reading. We are able to ascertain that the reactor core of the station is still active, but many compartments are unpowered and some fully depressurized. Signs of biological activity are largely present in the central module, which means the station has not been abandoned. The question remains, why are the esteemed Navigator heralds ignoring us? Turn back. No one dares give me orders. We will not invade without approval. Order the crew to commence dock. Affirmative. Do not know what's happening, and you will have to look for the esteemed Navigators blind. Dock safely, and may the God Emperor light your path. Hydrate and posture check. Well, I think the posture's fine. But I will hydrate. Might need to fill us up in a bit, but be alright, won't we? You're right there, Boots. Very interested in it now, apparently. What is it? It's water. Right, let's go. Yep, they are growing quite fast. It'll be in January most likely when they'll probably need to get their spaying done. Boots wants to hydrate too. Yeah. I'm hoping she'll settle down on my lap, but I don't really know what her intention is. Spot, the other kitten, she's just sleeping on one of the beds, and that's where obviously Boots was. But obviously I got up to deal with Amazon, and that made Boots want to get up as well.
You dare to argue with your master? It was not you whom I swore to serve within these walls. My lips are sealed. Confess! What was the old man's last command? What are you planning? Give up, Keeper. You have lost this battle, We're getting nowhere with these ones, sir. Permission to execute them.
Oh dear. Not a step further. Felic, or Celio. A tall man stops you with a gesture when you approach. Blood is trickling down the pearly scales of his weary face. Not just his own blood. Two jet black unblinking eyes are watching your every move. The third one, the mark of a navigator's fake, is menacingly pulsing behind the lowered lid in the middle of his sore head. Step back! I will unleash the horrors of the Sea of Souls upon you. Emperor, be my witness. Desist, brother. It was the Emperor's will that brought me this abode. Abelard, if you'd be so kind. Before you stands his lordship the rogue trader Eisenlorn von Valencius, heir to the greatest protectorate in the Coronis Expanse and the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade. Allow me to point out that the nobly custom requires the Lord Navigator to introduce himself first. But the unusual circumstances of the station, his lordship the rogue trader is willing to turn a blind eye to your hostility, but just this once. In this case, I shall turn a blind eye to your unceremonious invasion, but just this once. Very well, allow me to introduce myself. Before you stands Felic Christoph August, keeper of this place. So, you did not arrive to offer support to the traitors. This is great news. Having said that, you must understand that Uruk 5 is a holy sanctum of the House Orcelio. The path to it's only revealed to a select few. It pains to say that you are not on the guest list. I came into search of a navigator, so you're coming with me. Provide me the navigator and I'll immediately depart. I don't think that's possible. Uruk 5 is an observation station. We do not sign contracts and do not provide navigators. We delve into the depths of infinity and chart movements across the warp storms, and besides, you have chosen the opportune time for negotiations. I came here in search of a navigator. You're coming with me. Is that so? I do not think so. You cannot force me. You can only end my life, but that's not your heart's desire, is it? Perhaps. Perhaps we could help each other and reach a more beneficial agreement. What agreement are you talking about? Oops, I didn't mean to say that one, but oh well. Lord Inquisitor's interrogator, I think I would know such an important individual if I had to pay this visit. You came to the station for a reason. House Orcelio will not be able to help you until your current crisis is resolved. If you aid us now, I promise we will reach an agreement that you will find satisfying, be it riches, influence, or the powers of our navigators. What is happening? Where did all these corpses come from? Betrayal? The most banal thing in the life of the nobility, don't you think? I was stabbed in the back by my closest friend, Theobald Orcelio, the second keeper of Uruk 5 and my mentor. On his instructions, my own people sabotaged the generators and blew up the shuttles, and brutally massacred the loyal servants of my mistress. Most unforgivably, they dared to take her prisoner, greedy scum. I swear by the throne's light their souls will perish in the darkness of the void. The madmen have captured Lady Cassia, and now torturing her upstairs while we idly chatting down here. Help me rescue her or be gone, but waste no more of my precious time. I do not care about your mistress. I'm looking for a navigator and you will do. Could just attack. What kind of help are you talking about? When I might ask you for such a favour under different circumstances and yet Lady Cassia's well-being is above all. I have not made many people left, and my wounds are too deep for me to act with precision and swiftness, but you may actually succeed. In order to ascend to the Mistress' Chambers, you'll need to remake a holy relic sanctified with the blood of Lady Orcelio herself. This is the control rod of the Navigator's machine spirit. I have one part, and the other was lost during the mutiny. Even this relic will not be used unless powered. How do I remake the control rod? I have a phylactery containing the Mistress' blood. It needs to be taken to the laboratory, which is located behind one of the reliquary doors. The most ancient of the sacred mechanisms will help rebuild the rod. Tech priests ceaselessly perform the rites of appeasement so the machine spirit would serve the house in its time of need. Fifth hour is upon us. So how am I supposed to power the elevator? The station's main cogitator is situated in the guard room. Just enter the correct command sequence and the sacred mechanism will do the rest. So simple, why don't you do it yourself? I guess I've made sense, yeah. I rescue Mistress Return. I acquired the horse to sign a contract with my protectorate. So be it. Hurry, the Mistress' safety is all that matters, but should you fail, our regiment is finished. I received a phylactery of blood. Spell the station, find answers.
Rise to the top, or get left in the